you. You may be seated. Good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the commencement ceremony for this most honored class of 2009. As the Parma Senior High School principal for the past 4 years, this year has definitely been inspirational, motivational, and a confirmation of my continued desire to be an educational leader. Tonight, there is a great deal of pride and excitement in this auditorium, and there should be. As we mark the culmination of this graduating class's formal education and celebrate their transition into the adult world, let us all throughout this evening observe the dignity, decorum, and standard of behavior that is befitting of such an occasion. With that being said, as you know me, I have no long speeches. Tonight is your night. I do have 5 things that I always notify every single graduating senior. Number 1, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. Number 2, always be approachable and end every encounter with an individual by thinking, how do I want to be remembered if this were my very last encounter? Character makes trust possible is number 3. Number 4, anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. And number 5, winning may not be everything, but wanting and persevering to is. I congratulate the class of 2009, your parents and family members and friends, and I wish you the very best of luck in all that you choose to do. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the Parma Senior High School Deputy Principal, Mr. Phil King.
Good evening, everyone. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce our distinguished guests this evening. I first would like to introduce Dr. Sarah Zadek, Superintendent of the Parma City School District. Cindy Lee Bratz, President of the Board of Education. Rosemary Gulick, Vice President of the Board of Education. Karen Dendorfer, Board Member. And Patrick DePace, Member of the Board of Education. We would like to welcome our class speakers this evening. The first class speaker is Elizabeth Graydon. Elizabeth.
I stand on this stage tonight firmly aware, as I am sure the other graduates are as well, that these are some of my last moments as a student of Parma Senior High School. We attend school to prepare us for the future. We learn countless lessons, academic and otherwise, meant to make us all more informed citizens as we enter the world. Now, this particular chapter of our lives has come to a close. It makes perfect sense that we must let go of one stage in our lives in order to make room for something new. Yet, as I stand here before you on the day of our graduation, I find the whole experience rather surreal. It almost feels as if I am writing one more essay in a never-ending stream of papers and projects. It's difficult to comprehend the magnitude of our departure. After all, we have invested countless hours into this school. Personally, I know that the time I have spent in this auditorium probably surpasses hours I have spent sleeping over the past 4 years. The truth is that this school has been our second home for the last 4 years. I know that at times it was hard to think of this place fondly, After all, nobody ever promised us that it would be easy. There were no guarantees that every minute would be fun or memorable. I think that we have all had our moments where we have been less than thrilled to be in high school. Those late nights desperately trying to finish a project the day before it's due, even though the teacher assigned it a month ago. Those very early mornings trying to will ourselves out of bed. The days when you're sitting in a cafeteria with 300 people and it's 95 degrees outside. Or the countless days that seem like every other day, another obstacle on the way to the weekend. I think that every one of us sitting here today has been ticking off the days until we graduate. And for a long time, this day seems so far off into the future. Well, now the day is here, and I find myself thinking not of those days of monotony or frustration, but of all the happy memories of my time here. After all, who could forget a beloved math teacher with his magic tricks? Who could forget the corny jokes of a favorite English teacher? Or what about the exuberant stories of a certain U.S. history teacher? Of course, nobody likes every teacher, but I definitely feel that the care and commitment of the teachers here at Parma stand out in my mind. We don't always love them. They give us too much homework. They never acknowledge the fact that we have lives outside of school, and they all think that their subject is the most important. They take away our cell phones, give us detentions we don't deserve, and they never show as many movies as they should. But apart from all that, I have had teachers that stay late to help me, teachers that proofread my essays instead of spending time with their families, teachers that take the time to write my college recommendations, and teachers who come in on the weekends for practices or review sessions. I think that we sometimes forget that our teachers' lives do not revolve solely around us and that they have lives outside of school. I think we often take them for granted, while the truth is that none of us would be here without them. I am simply trying to give credit where it is due because the teachers at Parma High are some of the best. Then there were the moments outside of the classroom, like Friday night football games, dances, plays, concerts, trips to New York, Williamsburg, or Maine, or those simple moments spent with your friends, the friends that we have laughed and cried with, and the friends that sit beside us today. We also could not have made it to this day without our families. True, we don't always get along, and there's often yelling and slammed doors, but it's the unconditional love and support of our parents, siblings, grandparents, and others that makes it possible for us to achieve our goals. Family is an interesting word because I think that we all have many families in our lifetime. We will go on to start unique families, college friends, colleagues, a husband or wife, and children. But one family that will always remain with us is our Parma High family. As long as we live, we will all be part of the Parma Senior High School class of 2009. It's a wonderful feeling to have the support of yet another family as we step out into the world. It's a world that is very large and sometimes frightening, but we know that we never walk alone. Each of us has made friends and memories that will be with us forever. So my wish for the class of 2009 is that we will not be afraid to go out and make the most of that big world. Always remember that it belongs to us every bit as much as it belongs to everyone else. It is now up to us to be the change we want to see, to forge our own way in life, and to take responsibility for our future. Also, I hope that all of us will take the lessons we have learned here and build on them, never depriving ourselves of the chance to learn something new. Every person here today has earned their